From being the world champion to crying because your career is over, these are the most emotional bull riding moments. At number 10, Mason Lowe never got the chance to compete again.
Shot is gonna do.
The bull came down hard, right on his chest. He died from his injuries later that evening. Mason was just 25 years old. The next event, his chute stood empty. Spotlight on it, silent crowd. Everyone knew what that meant.
Professional bull rider from Southwest Missouri is dead after a tragic accident in Denver. 25-year-old Mason Lowe from Exeter died Tuesday night after the bull he was riding stepped on his chest during a competition.
But the sport didn't stop, and at number 9, Kaique Pacheco proved why. Riding with a torn MCL, barely holding himself together, he still won the 2018 world title. No drama, no complaints, just grit.
Jack's shot is gonna do. There it is! Kaique Pacheco converts the three-peat, going over the fence in the process. Will it be enough to catapult him to #1 in the world like it did 2 seasons ago?
Riding through pain isn't just about holding on, sometimes it's about letting go. Because at number 8, Chris Shivers nodded his head for the last time, ending a career that shaped the sport. During the ride, he was basically bucked off and dragged around the arena. But he still stood to tip his hat as the crowd roared.
Chris Shivers, but I give you my respect.
Because that ovation wasn't for the ride, it was for everything before it. Now, while Shivers was saying goodbye, Jose Vitor Lemay was rewriting history at number 7. In
Back-to-back world champion. Wait for these numbers.
2021, he broke through injury and pressure like it was nothing. Then came the 98.75 on Whoopa, highest score ever.
It's the man they love. Of course, it's a qualified ride. And how fitting. One last
While Lemmy had the crowd screaming, Sage Kimzey rode with something heavier pressing down on him. Just days after losing a close friend and fellow cowboy, he climbed aboard Dano with a calm that didn't match the storm inside.
Only 19 seconds.
Well, Sage Kimzey literally took everything Dano could throw at him, and even though he's banged up, he answered.
He stayed on for 8 seconds, but what mattered more was who he did it for.
W-O-W. Sage Kimzey has talked about how tough this sport is and how tough you are.
Now, even though Kimzey rode with loss on his back, Jess Lockwood came in carrying something different at number 5. By the time Jess Lockwood showed up in 2019, most people weren't sure what was left of him. Torn hamstring, broken collarbone. Critics say he was done before he hit 23, but somehow he made it to the finals, and he didn't just survive. He won the whole thing, not to mention that it was his second world title. At 22, he was just a kid who wouldn't back down.
It's time to cash in one more time. Here we go.
Lockwood! Spurred him!
Got him.
Look at that! Okay. Lockwood up! Chicago! Will he do it? The numbers are 90.5 points!
climbed off that last bull, chest heaving, tears close. His parents were right there. The moment wasn't quiet, and it cracked through the arena like thunder. And honestly, no one expected that ending, not even him. I really didn't think it was gonna go like this. I thought it was gonna be another wreck. I was just hoping to get through it without more damage. But it stuck, and I'll never forget that ride. It turned out better than I ever imagined, and I'm just thankful I got to feel that. Be that as it may, the title didn't come easy. He had to fight through pain, brace after brace, and all the whispers that said he peaked too early. But hey, that win was definitely loud and electric, much like in number 4 when Silvano Alves won the 2014 PBR World Finals.
Championship of Silvano Alves. He wins the event. He is our world champion. This man is going to continue to set the...
Alves is known for showing stoic emotions. He doesn't scream. He doesn't showboat. Most of the time, you wouldn't even know if he was hurt. But when he clinched his 3rd PBR World Championship, something cracked.
in this sport.
This is the moment that everyone that ever dreams of being a bull rider wants to experience, getting carried around on everybody.
The emotion caught up to him. His tears fell down as the crowd finally saw what the gold buckle meant to him. That ride was the final piece of a journey that started with nothing. Alves came from poverty in Brazil. He had no sponsors nor real equipment, just raw talent and the kind of discipline that most people wouldn't stick with. He worked, he waited, then he won.
Now clean. I tell you what, guys. There's the score for Alves, but Ty, you're going to weigh in first. That was not a...
It was just my dream to be world champion. Now I've done it. I still can't believe it. The thing I was chasing for so long. It's real now. It's right here. I don't even have the words. Although he rarely lets anything show, in that moment, everything came out. The grind, the sacrifices, the years away from home. It all came together in one final quiet breakdown that said more than any celebration ever could. At number 3, Ty Murray's goodbye was something else entirely. The king of the Cowboys was stepping away. For real this time. After years of fighting through wrecks, breaks, and bruises, his body just couldn't do it anymore. And for once, Murray let the emotion through.
It's happened more in a way where my desire and my drive and my determination started to slip, and you know, I think in a sport that's as dangerous as bull riding, it's something that you have to want more than anything to stay involved in it.
Of course, he wasn't bulletproof. He never was. But to fans, that's exactly how he looked. Unshakable. Built differently. That day proved he was still human underneath all the toughness. Watching him choke up while thanking fellow riders and fans, it felt honest. Fans around the world were stunned. Some didn't believe it at first.
You're not the only one that was surprised. A lot of his friends here in the PBR had no idea it was coming. This weekend we had the chance.
But they knew. Once injuries keep showing up, retirement stops being a question and starts being a countdown. Still, it didn't make it easier to hear. One of the rides that fans still bring up is his battle with Red Wolf, not just because he covered the full 8 seconds. It's what came after. A score of 95.5, one of the best of his career. Although Ty Murray said goodbye with a speech, JB Mauney didn't get that kind of ending at number 2.
I said, why? He said, they can't transport you. They can't move you. I was like, that bad? He said, it's not very good. I was like, son of a bitch, here we go. So
his was quick and unexpected. One fall in Lewiston, Idaho, and that was it. A neck injury that left no room for questions. Doctors told him the truth. If he got on another bull, it might be the last thing he ever did.
when I first hit the ground, I was like, whew, thank God I didn't step on my legs, and I rolled over, and when I put my hands down, pushed to get up, I felt it. I felt like somebody stuck a hot knife right in me.
Everyone in the room could tell he wanted one more ride, but that chance never came. I've always said I'll go till the wheels fall off, Mauney said. Well, they finally did. It was a rough way to close the book. This was a guy who rode through pain most would tap out from. He faced down bulls like Bushwhacker and Asteroid and didn't blink. Sometimes he walked out of the arena like he'd been hit by a truck. Sometimes he walked out grinning, but he always walked out. But it was different when he rode Arctic Assassin.
Did it all. So the bull I was on when I broke my neck. So He retired me, and Matt and his partner, they decided that I could have him. They were going to retire him, so he sent him to me, and this is where he'll live the rest of his life.
He left the arena that night in an ambulance, and he never came back in the way fans hoped he would. People didn't need a title to respect him. It was the way he carried himself, just a man doing the job he loved until it nearly broke him, and in the end, it did. Mooney's retirement felt like the end of an era, but still, nothing compares to what happened in Cheyenne at number 1.
It's something that you don't get over. I'm not over it. I'll never be over it. All I know that I was better in every way as a person because of him, because he was pretty much the one that taught me you're supposed to be fucking good.
In 1989, Lane Frost had just finished an 85-point ride in Cheyenne. It wasn't the highest score of his career, but it was clean, and the crowd loved it. As he stepped away from the bull, everything looked normal, until taking care of business turned and struck him in the ribs. There was no second chance, no time to react. The hit caused internal injuries that he didn't survive. Lane was only 25, young, sharp, and respected by everyone in and out of the arena. He wasn't the kind of guy to make enemies. Riders saw him as a professional, and fans saw him as a star. After his death, it felt like the air got knocked out of the entire rodeo world.
It was 1989, and we get to Cheyenne. I ride, and then he rides. He makes a really, really good ride, and as soon as he gets off, he hits the ground, and this bull just kind of, what we would call, just kind of smokes him.
His passing forced the sport to look at itself. Riders began wearing protective vests, not just because they had to, but because Lane's death proved how fast things could go wrong. That change didn't happen overnight, but it did happen, and that change has saved lives. Today, Lane's name still gets mentioned by veterans and rookies alike. His statue stands tall in Cheyenne, and his story still makes the rounds behind the chutes. And every time a rider puts on a vest, whether they say it out loud or not, they know why it's there. Because the fact of the matter is that the ride in Cheyenne ended up meaning more than anyone expected. Now, bull riding has made its share of legends. Some are still with us, while others are no longer around. But as we remember the moments they gave to the sport, it's impossible not to get emotional.